So, just for starters, if you could just identify yourself.
My name is Kevin Tipton, and I'm a wall muralist.
And here we are in Winchester, Kentucky.
Winchester, Kentucky. And we're in the Lighthouse Church of God, painting a mural. This is basically all acrylic. It's water-based. So a lot of the things here you have to go over twice. So just have to kind of play with it till something comes out with it.
And the majority of your work is outdoor murals?
Outdoors. Done with billboard paint and sign paints, the majority of it.
And you started doing murals one morning, you woke up having been fired from a job, if I'm remembering the story.
That's true, but didn't really start doing murals right then. That was when I decided to start doing artwork. I was a portrait artist for the first couple years. Then started doing freestyle solo type paintings. Then I was in California and they got ripped off, and then I decided to start doing murals. That's in 1984 is my first mural. It's when after I left California and went to Phoenix, Arizona. First mural I did was called, I had Mount Rainier. It's in a place called Rainier Automotive with Mount Rainier on it, and had a little river going through there and a girl sitting on the rocks. And been doing them ever since.
And you traveled the country by hitchhiking?
That was in my early 20s. I hitchhiked around. That was, did quite a bit. It's probably unsafe now, but.
So that was before you did the murals?
Mainly, but I pretty much drove, pretty much once I did start the mural things, because I had to start carrying paint, large amounts of paint with me, and I couldn't do that hitchhiking unless they pick you up with a whole bunch of cans of paint.
And then you would basically drive to a city and find work somehow?
Basically what I'd do, I'd go to a city. The first thing I'd do, I'd walk around in the town, in a place I'd never been before. I start looking at walls and just some way mysteriously things I think about that be in my head eventually come around and happen. Like I'll be thinking I'll be painting on something on this wall right here, and sure enough, as time goes on, I end up doing that wall.
Huh. Amazing. So you would have to approach.
Well, what I do is I'd introduce myself to the area back then by doing a sign. I'd say, hey, I do a sign for you cheap, just to get my foot in the door in the town.
Huh.
Then I paint the sign, then after I do a couple signs, then I let people know, oh, well, I do murals too.
Huh.
Got to kind of easier way than usually I get the walls that I wanted to do.
So you'd see a wall and you'd say, it's just asking for me to do X, and then it was just a matter of time before somebody hired you to do X.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's usually for good causes or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always for a good cause. And
so you would literally go and knock on doors and
no, I'd knock on the first door. I wouldn't knock hardly. Well, I wouldn't knock anymore after that. I'll leave it up to the.
Oh, really?
To God and whatever He wants to do with it.
So basically after the first one in a new city, everything was word of mouth?
Word of mouth, yeah.
And how long might be an average stay?
Well, some of them I've only been for a couple weeks. Wasn't a good area. Then other times I'd be there 3.5 years. You never know. It just depends on how things go.
How the work kept coming in, basically?
Well, the work and the situation has a lot to do with it. I've been to some pretty bad places. But a lot of times you'd be surprised, some of the places you think would be the roughest turn out to be the most humane. I've worked in barrios out west and really rough neighborhoods, and they'd turn out to be, you know, fairly decent people. You can't really make any kind of judgment on it because you don't really know until you start meeting these people. And then I've been in nice areas that you think would be, you know, high class or whatever, and just be really jacked around. So I kind of gone through the school of hard knocks just to find out stuff.